In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. and IT&E.
Welcome everyone, and welcome to another edition of In Full Zoom. I'm Nestor Licanto, and this week we're going to talk about some exciting news from the USO. And here to talk about that, first of all, is the Area Director for USO Guam, Leigh Graham. We have the Chairman of the USO Advisory Council, Mr. Phil Santos of Matson Navigation, and Mr. Will Edwards, who is the General Manager of the Plaza. And we'll explain to you a little bit later why Will is in on this discussion. But first of all, Leigh, let me first ask you about this big, exciting news for the USO.
Yes, thank you, Nestor and KUAM, so much for having us on. Always a pleasure to be here. And it's wonderful news. There's a new address for USO Tumon Bay, which has been our flagship for USO Guam now for 16 years. And we have to start by saying a huge thank you to the Royal Orchid Hotel, where we opened in 2006. And that we're very happy due to the tremendous growth of the military here on Guam right now that we can get into talking about, to be announcing a new address at the Dusit Hotel and Plaza Shopping Center property that's going to open with a bang at the beginning of 2022. And we're just thrilled about that partnership and collaboration. It holds an exciting array of things for our service members and families, both our local military, those permanently assigned, and the over 100,000 that come to visit Guam each year.
All right. And Will, tell us a little bit about the space that you have going to have ready for the new USO headquarters.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. For us, it's a really, really exciting thing. I mean, first of all, just let me say, you know, how much admiration that we do have for what the USO does here, especially on Guam. I mean, my impression is the Guam USO is probably one of the more active around the world. And over the last few months, as we've gotten to know the team there, it's been really an eye-opener for me just how impactful they are and the services that they provide. So on behalf of the Plaza and the Dusit family, you know, for us, it's a big move. And it's something that we're really quite honored to be partnering up with that great team. So it's great for us. The location itself is on the second floor of the Plaza North, which is the part of the Plaza that's between the Dusit Beach Hotel and between the Reef Hotel. So there's about 5,000 square feet that have been designated for the USO. We think for us, the positioning within the Plaza, adjacent to the hotel properties, adjacent to our other tenant partners, including shopping, restaurants, boutiques, you name it, is really, I think, a good spot, in our humble opinion, for our military visitors. And this location, I think, I hope will give the USO a real opportunity to be able to service these military folks in a really proper way, give them access to a lot of the happenings that are going on down in Tumon and everything that Tumon has to offer. So it's good. It's up on the second floor. The team is busy working on the fit outs right now and doing well.
All right. You know, this is the third location that I'm aware of. I'm old enough to remember when USO was at on the beach going to, Phil, you're old enough for this too. On the beach, heading into the port. Beautiful right. Location. Wow. And people would go there for lunch and barbecue at the beach. But congratulations on the new offices that are coming up in next year. Phil, let me ask you, as chairman, well, what are some of the things that we can look forward to from the USO?
Well, it's exciting times, Nestor, and the USO continues to grow here on our island for good reason, of course. A lot of traffic coming out here. We're looking at other locations, possibly up north with the onset of Camp Blas. and as well fit outs for our other centers up at Anderson and down at Navy Base Guam. It's just, it's a lot of traffic, as Leigh will mention to you. There's just a huge amount of visitors coming through here, and we're all excited about that. The USO is also a big part with our local community, and the contributions that our council has donated and supported our USO here has just been immense. And it goes without saying that, the coordination with those supporters obviously made it a dream come true here with this new location. And so it goes without saying, GTA Teleguam, who's huge, been a big supporter with us, outfitting new locations with the state of the art Wi-Fi, digital TV, and of course long distance calling as part of their communication support. And it also goes without saying, you can't just pick up a location and move it to another location without help and helping hands, and that goes out to a good supporter, longtime supporter, DeWitt Moving and Storage, who's contributed a lot of the packing, the transport, and the storage services that they've had to help us relocate to the Dusit Plaza family. So we're very excited with that, and like Will said, location. I mean, this is the epicenter of Tumon, and what a place to have. We're real happy for that.
In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises Inc. and IT&E. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information. In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises Inc. and IT&E.
All right. Leigh, you want to add to that and tell us a little bit more, some of the exciting events you might have planned for the upcoming year?
Well, there are lots of events. I think the overarching message is to share that, Nestor, first and foremost, how phenomenal our community is. Phil has mentioned a lot about our supporters, but just our overall community. USO Tumon Bay opened in 2006, but we have to remember that one of the first USO ever started here on the little island of Guam. USO overall is celebrating its 80th year this year, and I have photos of a USO Quonset hut on Naval Base Guam in the 1940s.
Wow.
So first ever on this island, where the people of Guam just embraced it from the very beginning. And our USO Tumon Bay has been recognized worldwide by service members and families. We often hear that they feel it's one of the best. And that's because of how our entire community has come together to give it that island hospitality, and they truly feel it. And that's not just military from abroad, that's our local military families as well. Our Guam National Guard and all of their families who come in to appreciate it. We're very proud to serve our Guam service members and families, and retirees, our local retirees that come in and enjoy it. And so in the Tumon area, there are approximately 160,000 military nights a year. On any given day in Tumon, there can be up to 2,000 service members and families lodging in hotels. And that's on the increase daily, because name somewhere else in the United States where there are all 6 branches of services located, including the U.S. Space Force. Guam is very unique. You might have a location that's considered a military town, Nestor, that might be a Navy town or an Army town. But there are not very many places like Guam that have all 6 branches that are all growing, and we are. And we don't have a lot of military lodging on installations. So to have this in the beautiful resort that the Dusit and Plaza properties are to welcome our service members and families is a real gift. So we're looking forward to that. And events, we have over 450 programs and events a year. They're just constantly happening. And that ranges from basic hospitality services to programs for spouses or military children. I was first in a USO at 6 years old. It was the day my dad left for Vietnam. I was devastated, but an all-you-can-eat cookie program helped me manage that devastation. So, you know, there are events going on daily. And how could we have a more beautiful place than, like you said, right there on the beach to provide that island hospitality?
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about the location of it being right there in the heart of Pleasure Island. Instead of having maybe a small USO on the base or something like this, they can actually come down to where the action is. Yeah.
Yes. It's very rare, actually, to have a USO located off of a military installation. There, we have over 200, approximately 250 USOs worldwide throughout Southwest Asia, Europe, the mainland US, and the Pacific, but only a handful that are located off of installations. And on Guam, that was actually at the request of our military commands, because they know that our military want to come into Tumon and enjoy what Guam has to offer. So that's why we have special permission for this USO to be located in Tumon. But of course, we couldn't do that without the generosity and collaboration of a venue host like the Plaza and Dusit partners.
Well, I know you wanted to add to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for us, you know, obviously the idea of being able to offer some great hospitality and some great activities and things to do on behalf of the Dusit hotels and the Plaza is really quite a privilege for us. If you think about it, here at this complex, we've got the Dusit Beach Hotel, which is just over 600 rooms. We've got the Dusit Thani Hotel, which is over 400 rooms. We've got the Plaza with over 50 tenants, including restaurants, shopping, et cetera. We've got the aquarium here at Pleasure Island, as you mentioned. So, and of course, we're right on the beach. So for us, this is, I think, could be a very, very inviting location for our military visitors to spend some time, to see, you know, from a visitor point of view, what the best Guam has to offer. And for us, it's really great just to be able to show that sense of gratitude to the military visitors. It's a great team here at the Plaza and at the Dusit hotels. I mean, there's a lot of great team members who are going to be really, really excited with the opportunity to kind of interact even more than we have in the past with these military visitors. So I think it's a great thing for us. Obviously, it's a great thing for the military visitors, and hopefully it'll really add in a really positive way to their experience on Guam, you know, and it's just great for us. We're really quite energetic about it. Every time that we sit down and we talk to Leigh and Phil and all the team at USO, you know, their energy is a bit contagious, and it really kind of fires you up to want to be able to participate. And on behalf of all the Dusit and the Plaza employees, I think, you know, I can say quite confidently for us, it's really kind of an honor, and it's really something that we think we can bring some good value and some hospitality and show what Guam is really all about. So it's all good from our perspective, and the fact that the USO wants to partner with us, I think, is really a privilege, and we'll treat it as such.
In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises Inc. and IT&E. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information. In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises Inc. and IT&E.
Yeah, and Phil, obvious answer, but why is the local business community so supportive of the USO?
Well, that's a good question. You know, I think that businesses such as GTA and DeWitt and others, they realize the value of the military community here and what it brings to us. And, as we mentioned earlier, the hospitality that we all already are born into adds to that flavor. And so I think they realize that there's a need for that. They're very giving, as Leigh was saying, and it just continues on. It's incredible. A lot of the stories that come back, and a lot of the stuff that they do don't get highlighted, but the USO is successful today simply because of the community as well.
Yeah, and Leigh, I can't imagine that there's very many of them, but for those who may not be familiar with what the USO does and stands for and what your mission is, can you tell us a little bit about that?
I can. Thank you, Nestor. USO stands for United Service Organizations, and our mission is to strengthen America's service members by connecting them to family, home, and country. And we believe that America is a force for good in our world. That's what we believe. And that the force behind our nation is our sons and daughters who protect the freedoms that you and I, everybody on this call and everybody listening has, that so many other people around the world want to have. And it's our sons and daughters that protect those freedoms. And in order to protect those freedoms, while sometimes from the outside looking in, it may look like a very glamorous life, it's a very arduous life. It has many sacrifices. It requires being away from loved ones. It requires having your life on the line every single day. It's a job where you can go to prison for not showing up to work. It's a job where you don't enjoy many of the rights that you are fighting to protect for others. It's a job where you might face hardship during holidays, extreme loneliness, where your children change schools every other year. And so the USO started it's a congressionally chartered organization, 501c3 charitable organization supported by the American people to be there for our sons and daughters, to make them feel at home while they're protecting our nation. And I'm so proud that on our small island, we now have 3 of them that are recognized worldwide. And we're one of the only USOs, USO Tumon Bay, that holds a place of distinction on a wall in the Pentagon, that our nation's Department of Defense recognized our Guam USO as one of the best because of what the people of Guam did to make it so. And that now the Dusit and Plaza will help carry on that legacy because of what people on this call and everyone listening helped make it so for our sons and daughters. So that's what and who we are. Our nation's young, and those who have served our nation deserve it. And it's just a privilege to be there making it so for them. And we offer a wide variety of hospitality services, thanks to our supporters, all free of charge. So imagine that maybe you're from Wisconsin and you have a young son or daughter, 17 years old, who gets orders to Guam, and they show up here and they arrive at the international airport. They have no idea where to go. Their phone doesn't work. They don't know where they're going to live. They don't know anything about the food. They can show up at the USO. We get them connected to free Wi-Fi. We get them something to eat. We get them oriented, and it becomes a place they know where to come throughout their time here and get to know the island through that. And vice versa, when one of our young people from Guam goes to another location, there's a USO to help them, whether it's in Rota, Spain, or like many of our National Guard have shown up in Afghanistan or Iraq. I love telling about the National Guard who showed up at the Pat Tillman USO on Christmas Eve. And one of my good friends who was staffing it there welcomed Colonel Ronald Delphin, who was a captain at the time from the National Guard on Christmas Eve at USO there. So the love gives all the way around the world.
In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. and IT&E. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information. In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. and IT&E.
It does. And Will, I know you touched on it a little bit earlier, but tell us again why or how you feel about being able to host the USO on one of your properties.
Well, for us, again, Nestor, it's really a great privilege. The whole team here at the Dusit and the Plaza is very excited. Also, our partner tenants. I think the great thing about the Plaza, I mean, to be a little not humble, I guess, but is that really it is a destination where you don't really have to leave the complex to be able to avail yourself, if you're a visitor, of a lot of different activities, a lot of different shopping options. Obviously, hotel stays. We have great restaurant partners here. We have CPK, Hard Rock Cafe, a lot of the other tenants that everyone knows. So we think we're kind of uniquely maybe positioned to be able to be that destination where a visitor could come and avail of everything that we have to offer. Obviously, being in the heart of Tumon, there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of activities even beyond our complex here at the Dusit for military visitors to be able to participate in. Beautiful beaches, et cetera. So I think the location is great. For us, the idea that we've got two hotels, we've got the shopping, we've got the entertainment, we've got the retail, hopefully will allow for the military visitors to really be able to make the most of their visit here to Guam and have the best experience that we can possibly deliver. And on behalf of I'll say it again, on behalf of the Dusit and the Plaza teams, we're really dedicating ourselves to that. And it's really pretty exciting for us.
All right. And Mr. Chairman, we've only got a couple of minutes left, so I want to wrap it up with you and tell us about your personal interactions with some of these military service members who have availed of the USO services and appreciate what Leigh and her team have been able to provide to them while they're out here in the far away from home.
Well, Nestor, as Leigh alluded to earlier, when you get off the plane and there's nowhere to go and you want to contact your mom and your family or your cousins or your friends, the USO is a great location. And I've seen it firsthand as I visited the centers, and I do that quite often. They're either relaxing themselves, grabbing a bite to eat, or calling home, or playing games and just killing away some time. I kind of compare it to college almost, and you're far away from home, and you know what it's like being away from home. And the first thing you want to do is connect with family, and at the same time eat something and enjoy the time that you're there. And having those military members there in the good times and in the bad, the USO comes through, and to see that happen is just amazing. And again, kudos out to our council and the companies that they represent in coming to help the USO in times of need. And we talk about last year where we had to help the TR and put together packages and care packages for them. That was amazing. And quite honestly, it was kind of the impetus to a lot of what's happening today, as people were taking notes and examples of what was happening here. And so, the USO really does come to the rescue a lot in many times, and even in good times when we're doing programs and happy birthdays, and moms want to say happy birthday to their son. The look and the smile on those faces is worth $1 million, Nestor. So, we're very happy right now, and it's an exciting time for all of us.
All right, I wish we had more time, but we're out of it. But USO looking to move to the Dusit in early next year, I guess, in January sometime. Congratulations, and I think a lot of people will be looking forward to that. Leigh Graham is the area director for the USO Guam. Will Edwards is the general manager of the Plaza Center in Tumon. And of course, Phil Santos is the chairman of the USO Advisory Council here on Guam. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Nestor.
Thank you, Nestor.
Thank you.
All right. And thank you for watching. We'll see you again next week on In Full Zoom.
In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. and IT&E.